this video I'm going to be talking about how we travelled. So we self-drove and we used the Eurotunnel. That's the shuttle terminal there, and there's even a little place to walk your dogs. There's a good range of food inside, but there's not a lot of places to sit down, and there's absolutely nowhere to sit down outside. So once we'd gone in and got all of our snacks and things, we actually came back and sat in the car. Our ticket was about £160-ish return, and then it took us a full tank of fuel either way. So fuel wise, from where we are in the Midlands, it cost us about £140 in fuel. Getting to drive onto a train and then driving upstairs and along the full length of that train is so cool. Archie absolutely loved it, and so did we. Travelling time, it's a full day's journey for us from where we are in the Midlands. So we left our house about 8 o'clock in the morning, got to the Eurotunnel about 11 and checked straight in. When you arrive, it's number plate recognition, so your family name will appear on the screen. It'll tell you if there's an earlier train that you can get, which is normally free to do that, or it'll tell you if there's any delays. The day that we travelled, there was delays of about an hour, but because we went back and we were just sitting in our car, as the staff were going past, they told us just to go straight through, and we ended up getting on an earlier train anyway, because they need to just constantly have people moving. Their advice is to get there and check in an hour before your departure time. We would always recommend that you aim to be there 2 hours before your departure time, because there can be such delays getting through passport control, and because generally they'll always just put you on whatever the next train is anyway. Driving in France is actually really straightforward. You just need to remember that you're obviously driving on the right and that makes roundabouts the opposite way as well. But for most of the journey you're on this really wide motorway. It's a toll road, as you can see here. It was about €20 each way to pay for the toll road, but it meant that there's hardly any traffic on the roads when you're there. It's also worth bearing in mind that you have to have a European travel kit if you're self-driving, but you can get these on Amazon, and if you haven't got one you can actually buy it in the terminal before you depart anyway. France are an hour ahead of us, which meant that we arrived at Calais at about 2:30ish in the afternoon, and then we had another 3-hour drive to get from Calais to our accommodation. We stayed in a really budget hotel called Premier Class because we wanted to have a full day in Disney the next day. Very when I say budget, I mean look at that corridor. It was like something from a horror film when we first arrived. Actually it was fine, but it was very tired and very run down. It had the basics, but as Phil said, it was a bit like staying in a caravan. Archie loved it though.